best NBA player from each team of all time. 30, the Memphis Grizzlies. It is Ja Morant. He is the only superstar in Grizzlies history. His only competition was Marc Gasol. Memphis, find better players. 29, Charlotte Hornets. Their best player is Kemba Walker, which isn't too sad because Kemba in his prime was the best point guard in the NBA. Okay, besides Steph Curry. He was a scoring machine. He's so good that he even broke the ankles of the best basketball player ever. Me. 28, Washington Wizards. It is John Wall, who in his prime was the most athletic point guard of all time. He would get 25 points, 12 assists, and dunk on your favorite player. John Wall was the face of the Wizards. 27, Los Angeles Clippers. CP3. He was the best passer in the league, and he created Lob City with Blake Griffin. And the funny thing is, Blake Griffin is actually second place. Both of them scored 25 points a game. Both of them were the face of the Clippers, but Chris Paul was consistent while Blake Griffin was injured. 26, the Toronto Raptors. Finally, somebody who's not a point guard. It is Vince Carter, the best dunker in NBA history. He was nasty. And the craziest part, he was also a good three-point shooter. How are you the best dunker in the league and a great three-point scorer? 25, Indiana Pacers. Paul George was the best player on the Pacers for almost 10 years. He was their superstar, but he's only second place because the best Pacer ever was Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller is a top 5 three-point scorer of all time, maybe even top 3. 24, Portland Trailblazers. Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler dominated the 90s. If Michael Jordan didn't exist, Clyde Drexler would have been the best player in the NBA at that time. But what about Damian Lillard, Greg? Clyde Drexler was on another level. I love you, Dame, but you gotta make the playoffs. 23, Atlanta Hawks. Talking about dunking, Dominique Wilkins, the highlight machine. All this guy did was get highlights, and he's by far their best player. Oh, but he only dunked the ball. No, he was an amazing scorer all around. How else did this guy average 28 points a game? 22, New York Knicks. It is Carmelo Anthony, the most underrated player in this video so far. Did you know Carmelo is top 10 in the NBA all-time scoring? I know, it's crazy, and it's time to show him some respect. He would hit game-winning shot after game-winning shot. His only competition was Patrick Ewing. I know, one of the best centers of all time. But top 10 in NBA history? Move aside Ewing, it's Carmelo Anthony. 21, Denver Nuggets. For 40 years, Alex English was the best Nugget of all time. It was the only award he won in his whole career. But now it's gone because Nikola Jokic, the back-to-back MVP, is the best Nugget of all time. Alex English never won MVP. Nikola Jokic almost averaged a triple-double this season. He's the only superstar on his team, and he's still carrying that team in the playoffs. 20, Detroit Pistons. Isaiah Thomas, the best defensive point guard in NBA history. He was a thief, getting steal after steal. Over 25 points a game. The Pistons are an awful franchise, but he led them to a title. He deserves an Olympic gold medal for doing that. 19, Dallas Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki, hi and goodbye, because Luka Doncic is the new best Maverick of all time. I know it's only been a few years, but Luka is doing stuff Dirk never did. 60 points and 20 rebounds? Luka is going crazy. He's having stats that not only Dirk never had, but no players ever had. 18. Minnesota Timberwolves. It starts with the K. First name is Kevin. Kevin Garnett. Garnett was the best power forward in the NBA and is one of the best defenders in NBA history. And the most underrated part of his game was his trash talking. Greg, trash talking isn't a skill. It was for Kevin. His trash talk was so nasty that it was a part of his defense. Kevin Garnett is a legend. 17. Brooklyn Nets. If you think it's Kevin Durant, we have a problem. Jason Kidd. He was their franchise player. He was with the Nets for so long that they were called the New Jersey Nets at the time. Jason Kidd is unbelievably underrated. He led the Nets to a championship, something Katie couldn't do, Kyrie couldn't do, even Julius Erving couldn't do. Scoring, passing, defense. A+ on all of them for Jason Kidd. 16. Phoenix Suns. I'll give you a hint. One of the best players to not win a championship. Charles Barkley. Even though he has no gold trophies at home, I give you this trophy, Charles, and it's better than an NBA championship. 15. Utah Jazz. Charles Barkley's brother. Not because they're related, because both of them didn't win a championship. Karl Malone. Wait, why is Karl Malone 15? He wasn't that good. He's top 5 in the NBA all-time scoring list. He's actually number 3 behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was Michael Jordan's biggest rival. Do you know how good you have to be Michael Jordan's rival? His post scoring was an A+. And for a big man, his passing was incredible. I know when Carl watches this, he's gonna be celebrating his first award. 14. The Philadelphia 76ers. Allen Iverson, one of the biggest icons in NBA history. His one-on-one offense was disgusting. He would embarrass the person in front of him, put them on their knees. That's how good he was. And it was close because second place is Julius Erving, Dr. J in his prime. 13. The Houston Rockets. It is Hakeem Olajuwon, a top 3 center in NBA history. His nickname was the Dream because when he was 5 years old, he had a dream that one day, when he was older, he would be so good that Greg puts him in a video and calls him the best player on the Rockets. 12. Miami Heat. LeBron James? What? Do you think I'm a casual? No! It's Dwayne Wade, the face of the Miami Heat forever. He won them a title without LeBron. He was the best shooting guard in the NBA for over 10 seasons. We had to put some respect on D. Wade's name. 11. The Oklahoma City Thunder. My team. I don't want to say it, but it's Kevin Durant. It's the truth. He is the best player we've ever had. He won MVP. He scored over 30 points a game. I'm sorry, Russ. I still love you. Moving on to the top 10. 10. The Sacramento Kings. Oscar Robertson. He scored over 30 points per game for 7 seasons when nobody was doing that. He had the most triple doubles in NBA history until Russell Westbrook broke that record. Please forgive me for not saying you're the best Thunder player, Russ. 9. San Antonio Spurs. Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental. Post game A+. Passing A+. Defense A++. Tim Duncan was not athletic, but he might have been the smartest player in NBA history. He knew everything about basketball, and that's why he won 5 championships for the San Antonio Spurs. 8. New Orleans Pelicans. Everyone thinks it's Anthony Davis, but they are incorrect though. It's Chris Paul. When CP3 was on the Pelicans, he was the best point guard in the entire league. He was the NBA leader in steals, the NBA leader in assists, and the Pelicans were terrible. He had nobody to pass the ball to, but he still dominated. 7. Orlando Magic. Dwight Howard is in China right now. He is in China. He's not the best player in Magic history. The best player in Magic history, Shaquille O'Neal. The scariest player in NBA history. And the strongest player. He was in his prime on the Magic 6. Boston Celtics. Larry Bird. What about Bill Russell, Greg? He won 11 rings. Congratulations. Rings aren't everything. Bill Russell was amazing, but nobody played like Larry Bird. He was the Steph Curry of his generation, doing things that nobody else could. If it's the 1980s, I'm down 3 points, and I need a three-pointer to save my life, I'm picking Larry Bird. 5 Los Angeles Lakers. There's Will Chamberlain, Magic Johnson, LeBron, Shaq, but forget all of them. It is Kobe Bryant, the best Laker of all time, easily. 4 Milwaukee Bucks. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I know LeBron broke his record, but being the number 2 scorer in NBA history, that's still incredible. His only competition was Giannis, but it's too early. Giannis needs a few more MVPs and maybe 20,000 more points. 3 Golden State Warriors. Wilt Chamberlain. Before you say anything, think about this. Once he had a season where he averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds a game. Nobody in NBA history has ever done that. Steph is incredible. KD is great. But Wilt Chamberlain is by far their best player. 2 Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James. LeBron led this team to the NBA Finals. Without LeBron, this team would be the worst team in the league. He is Cleveland. Let's say it together, LeBron. Cleveland! 1 Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan, the best player in NBA history.